Hi everybody, I'm here to walk you through Lesson 2.2, Conductivity of Substances. Right at the start, we have some pre-lab questions. Remember that our purpose here is to use evidence to evaluate different substances and whether they conduct electricity. Our pre-lab questions are asking about if we think water conducts electricity and about the bath water in Madison's bathtub. Do you think it was pure water, or do you think there was anything different mixed into that water? The next part of this lab is talking about the evidence that we're going to use to talk about conductivity. In this video, it's going to show you a light bulb that's connected into a circuit where two parts of the circuit are in first pure water, and then they're going to mix some salt into the water. And I want you to watch that video and see what happens. The 3 questions right after this video are going to ask you about what you saw. Do you now think that pure water conducts electricity after watching it in the video? Do you think that salt water conducts electricity? And then what evidence are you using in that video to try to decide if the water conducts or not? During the lab section of this lesson, we're going to ask you to predict, and then we're just going to give you the data that we would have collected in class. If you have the right supplies at home and you enjoy doing chemistry labs and you'd like to try to collect some of this data on your own, go back to the lesson menu. Right after this lesson, there are the lab directions if you think you would like to try to collect this yourself. If not, all of the data is in this lesson, so just go through it with me. In preparing for the lab, we want to talk about 2 words, what it means to dissolve and what it means to conduct. To dissolve means for something to completely break down and spread out into a liquid. I like to drink tea every morning. I put some sugar in my tea and I stir it around. I can't see the sugar anymore. And that to me means that the sugar has dissolved into my tea water. Conductivity means the ability of a substance to pass electricity through it. So in the video that you watched above, I think you would have seen some conductivity happen where electricity can pass through that water and make it part of a circuit. There's a data table here. These are some of the things that we're going to test to see if they dissolve and to see if they conduct. In this table, we have the first part is Al. Al is a chemical symbol for aluminum from the periodic table. So this just means aluminum. It has an S in parentheses. That means that this is a solid. So we have solid aluminum. And if we keep reading, oh, it's just aluminum foil like you might have in your kitchen cabinets. The next one, C12, H22, O11. C is carbon, H is hydrogen, O is oxygen. So when we're looking at these chemical symbols, we're now talking about not just one element at a time, but a few different elements combined into what we're going to call a compound. This chemical formula here is also S for solid, and this is just sugar. So this is the sugar that I mix into my tea every morning. It's the sugar that you might sprinkle on your cereal, whatever is in your cabinet. We have some more chemical formulas here, and these ones are all S for solid. Take a second, pause the video, and I want you to predict, will this substance conduct electricity as a solid? In the second column, if we mix it into water, is it going to disappear and dissolve? And third, after it dissolves, will it make the water conduct electricity? So pause this video and make your predictions, and then keep going. If you're keeping going now, let's look at our data. For each of these different chemicals, each of these compounds, we now have our test results. Did it conduct when it was a solid before it was dissolved? Did it dissolve in water? And if it dissolved, did it make the water conduct electricity? We've talked about ones that had the S right here in the name. This one has an L. And you might guess that since this is water, that L stands for liquid, and you would be right. C2H6O is also L for liquid. And CuSO4 says AQ. That's a kind of weird one. That stands for aqueous. And that just means that it's something solid that has been mixed into water. So it's some sort of mixture and a solution. When we have those things that have dissolved, they're going to be the AQ for aqueous. Let's go down here to our analysis. This is the part that